Tonight's global brief: clear, concise, and ahead of the curve. From markets to climate and tech, we scan reliable sources so you don't have to. Your world, briefing ready.
Hello and welcome to World News. I'm Eve, your anchor in our global newsroom. In the next minutes, we'll bring you verified headlines from geopolitics, business, and technology, with clear context and concise takeaways. You'll learn what happened, why it matters, and what to watch next, without noise or speculation. Stay with us as we start at the desk with today's top stories, then zoom in on the trends shaping tomorrow. Let's begin.
Raila Odinga. For decades, that name has been right at the very heart of Kenyan politics. He was a figure of just immense influence, incredible passion, but also a whole lot of contradiction. So what's his ultimate legacy? Let's get into this really complex and fascinating story.
So the news came in on October 15th, 2025. Raila Odinga, Kenya's veteran opposition leader, had passed away while he was getting medical treatment over in India. And just like that, his death marks the end of an era for a nation he truly profoundly shaped.
And that really gets us to the heart of the question we're going to explore today. Was this man a selfless champion who fought for freedom? Or was he a master politician who, bent the rules to get power? The answer, as you're about to see, is not simple at all.
To really understand Odinga, you've got to start at the beginning. I'm talking about his long, grueling fight against autocratic rule. This is where the legend of Raila, the democratic hero, was really forged.
Think about it. Odinga was a driving force behind two of Kenya's most fundamental political achievements. First, ending one-party rule, and second, creating a brand new, more progressive constitution. These weren't small changes. They were absolutely monumental shifts that reshaped the entire nation.
But wow, this fight came at a huge personal cost. He spent 9 years, a total of 9 years, as a political prisoner under President Daniel Arap Moi. And get this, 6 of those years were in the brutal, soul-crushing conditions of solitary confinement. This wasn't just some political game for him, it was a deeply personal sacrifice.
This quote gives you such a brilliant window into his mindset. Instead of being broken by prison, he actually saw it as a place of learning, a place for reflection. He said it taught him tolerance and the ability to forgive his enemies, a skill, believe me, he would use again and again throughout his career.
Okay, so that brings us to the next big chapter, his relentless, lifelong ambition to lead the country as president. And this ambition, it would go on to define Kenyan politics for more than a quarter of a century.
This timeline really says it all, doesn't it? 5 times. 5 times he ran for the highest office in the land, and 5 times he fell short. Each and every attempt, from his first run against Moi back in '97 to his final loss in 2022, was just packed with intense political drama, controversy, and that unwavering persistence that was classic Odinga.
But here's the tough part of the story. His pursuit of the presidency often had absolutely devastating consequences. The 2007 election is just a tragic example. When the results were disputed, political clashes spiraled into terrible ethnic violence. It left a deep, deep scar on the nation and showed that terrible link between political ambition and real human suffering.
And here's the thing, Odinga himself got it. He understood the dangerous ethnic dynamics that were at play. He basically admitted that in Kenyan politics, winning the presidency was seen as a zero-sum game for entire communities. That's what made every election a high-stakes battle for survival.
So after decades of fighting from the outside and coming up short again and again for the presidency, a whole other side of his political identity started to emerge. He wasn't just a fighter anymore. He became a master of the political deal, making these alliances with his fiercest rivals and moves that just stunned everybody.
And this is where he earned that famous nickname, Agwambo. In his native Luo language, it means the mysterious one. And honestly, it's perfect. It just captures his completely unpredictable nature. Just when you thought you knew what he was going to do next, bam, he would completely change the game.
And it became his signature playbook, something he did over and over. He made a deal with Moi, the very guy who threw him in jail. He joined a unity government with Kibaki right after that violent 2007 election. He reconciled with Uhuru Kenyatta in that famous handshake. And then, finally, he struck a deal with his last great rival, William Ruto. So the big question is, was it pragmatism to heal a divided nation, or was it just political opportunism? So how do we piece all of this together? Let's try to put these two very different sides of Raila Odinga next to each other to get a clearer picture of his ultimate legacy.
It really does come down to these two nicknames. To his millions of devoted supporters, he was Baba, that's father in Swahili, the man who fought for them. But to his critics, he was Agwambo, the mysterious one, the guy they believe struck deals for his own personal gain. And the truth is, both of those views capture a real part of his story.
For so many ordinary Kenyans, people like Grace Mbugua, a resident in Nairobi, the legacy is pretty clear. It's one of inspiration. They see him as the hero who sacrificed everything for the rights and freedoms they have today.
But then, you hear the other perspective, and it's summed up really well here by Patrick Mangai. This view acknowledges the fight for democracy, for sure, but it also counts the very real, very tragic human cost of all the political conflicts that so often surrounded Odinga's ambition.
But you know, in the end, even his final and fiercest political rival, President William Ruto, paid tribute. By announcing a state funeral and a period of national mourning, the government itself was acknowledging Odinga's undeniable central role in shaping the course of Kenya's history.
And so, that leaves us with this one huge question. For half a century, Kenyan politics has revolved around one man, Raila Odinga. You were either with him or you were against him. Now that he's gone, the entire political landscape has to find a new center of gravity. What comes next for Kenya? Well, that's a story that's just beginning to be written.
That's your briefing from World News. I'm Eve. Before we go, a quick recap. Key decisions in policy and markets, signals from tech and security, and the human angles behind the numbers. For more depth and verified updates, follow my channel World News Eve and enable notifications. We'll be back soon at this desk with clear facts and practical context you can use. Until then, stay informed and stay kind. Like my video, leave your comments, and help me bring news to everyone. From me to all of us, be happy.